welcome to Dynamite Delight. Now, before we get started, there's something I gotta say. I know that, hang on, little dim. I know some of you, not all of you, maybe just one of you, has probably thought to themselves, hey Zane, if you were talking to me, Zane, where's your Gump report on Jeff Hardy? Where is it? Well, I decided not to do anything until I got more information. Now, Wednesday, on JD's channel and Just Alex, more information was revealed, including a video that was released by the police to TMZ, because TMZ got the film from the dash cam of the police, and they released it. So I thought I should wait and see. So now that I've seen it, and pretty much heard a little bit from both JD, Just Alex, I already have my own thoughts. I have not seen Solid Monster or Slick Daddy. I'm sure the Slick Daddy's released something. I will be releasing a Gump report. I will be making it actually after this video, and I'll release it Friday. I normally don't wait so long to do a Gump report. I usually like to do it on Monday and Tuesday. But under this situation, I thought I should wait and see how far it went, particularly what the decision was made by Tony Khan and his decision to do what he did to Jeff. I will talk about it. I will. So watch for Friday, because I will be filming it right after this. So that means you're not seeing any images in this video, because I'm going to get this video done, then I'm going to get the Gump report done. Maybe I might actually get a third one. I'm not sure yet. I was considering doing something. Maybe a retro wrestling review, I think. I have been considering doing a retro wrestling review before Slammiversary. No, not Slammiversary. What is today? The 15th. Yeah, Slammiversary is supposed to come out in the next couple of days. So I'm considering doing a retro wrestling review. I'm considering one. So tell me what you think after you see this. If you want to see a retro wrestling review on a match or on a feud or something that I'm going to probably take a look at. This was an interesting show, and it kind of goes along with the Gump report, but I will talk about it at the end of this review. First thing we got, hair versus hair. Ortiz versus Chris Jericho. Now, if anybody had seen Twitter, they showed a Chris Jericho bald on Twitter. Now, I didn't know if that was real or not, so I didn't really take it into account, and I tried to keep an open mind on the situation. But I knew flat out this was going to be an interesting match between Ortiz and Chris, because you normally don't get much from Ortiz. We have done Santana, but that was like in the first year and a half of AEW dealing with Moxley. So this was totally different. Now, was the video packages over the last couple of weeks been good? Yeah. I like how Ortiz talks, and I would like to see more of Ortiz talking along with Santana. Because before, it was always about K-Dog when they were Impact Wrestling. Remember, if you've seen Impact Wrestling with the Latin American Exchange, a little bit of LAX, there was always the K-Dog who was talking. So seeing Santana and Ortiz come into their own talking makes me personally happy. I always knew these guys had to talk eventually. So they're done pretty well. They got a lot of people in the back to help them, but they weren't very good, which they become good. Now, I don't really need to go very deep into this match. We knew one of them was going to lose their hair, but the question was, were they going to let Chris lose his hair, or will this be a setup for Blood and Guts? Now, we got a little bit of a surprise. Sammy coming back into the fold of Chris's faction. In other words, Chris has a faction. You get Sammy Gervar. Now his wife, I believe they're married now, Ty Conchi. I think they actually got married. I do believe they did get married. Now, both of them are in the Jericho Appreciation Society. Very nice. First, we thought it was Fuego del Sol, because at the very end, we saw Fuego, with the mask, goes in with Fred, I believe his name is Fred, whacks a Ortiz in the face, and they think it was Fuego. But in actuality, it was Sammy, pulls off the mask, and in the end, now they're in the JAS. Now the question's going to be how far they're going to let them be heels. This is a big question for me, because people have not been happy with Ty Conchi and Sammy Gervar, particularly since Sammy left his original fiancée for Tai Conchi. A lot of people were never happy about that because they made it so public on a Dynamite that time. So not many people liked him. And then when it came to the storyline that they've been in lately, which has been Sammy and Ty, people have just wanted to boo them, but they kept them faces. Now they've been turned to heels. The question is, will Tony Khan push them really hard as heels? Will they go far with them? Or are they going to be a little too tame? I don't know. You guys tell me below. Now, we got the 20 versus 1 handicap match. It was the plaintiffs of the security team that works for AEW versus Warlord with Mark Sterling in the corners of the plaintiffs. This is what the question was. How far were they going to let these guys job their asses off for Warlord? When I saw this and heard the stipulation that only one of them need to pin him, but he need to pin all 20 of them, I'm going like, okay, how far are they going to let these guys job for him? They were basically just like, I got to agree with JR. He said for one of these guys, he got ragdolled, and that's what happened with all of them. They got thrown everywhere. I forgot how many damn power bombs that Warlord did. I think it was over 15 power bombs, and either 10 to 15 power bombs he did on all these guys. He threw them around, he choked them around, he slammed them. He basically laid them on top of each other to the point where, a couple of them actually got their faces smashed in by a couple of other guys, either with the butts of some guys, or their shoulders, or their elbows. It was rough for those guys taking those bumps. I'm telling you right now, those guys took some heavy bumps. They did. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. Warlord afterward had to deal with Top Team and Dan Lambert. Now, one of the guys there, I don't know who he is. There were two guys there. Since I don't watch UFC anymore, I've forgotten anyone or anything that has been in the last 10 to 15 years. I haven't watched UFC in years. So anybody that's been coming up for the last 5 to 10 years, I forgot whoever they could be. So two guys were there, and one of them kind of looked like he might have got the same type of syndrome as Muhammad Ali, like that punch syndrome, where he was going like this. So he did not look good. He looked kind of messed up. I don't think he was drinking. I just think he got punch damaged or kicked in the head damaged type of situation. He and the other guy got into the ring, and Lambert is telling them to whoop his ass. Flat out whoop his ass. And one of them was just holding himself like this. And pretty much, Warlord was saying, you guys are in similar stomping grounds I come from. You guys and I are cut from the same cloth, I believe. Don't listen to this bastard. Don't do it. Just let me do my business. Don't come at me. And one of them grabbed Smart Mark Sterling and pretty much froze him into Warlord, where he gets another power bomb. And now we're getting this setup between Scorpio Sky and Warlord. I'm really hoping to keep that title, that golden purple or a lavender title. I think looks really good compared to the original titles that came out. I really hope they keep it. But you never know. They may change it just for Warlord. The way they've been acting lately, they've been willing to change so much so quickly. That's understandable. But still, kind of stick with some for at least a year or two. I'm just saying. Now, Dash Hardwood versus Will Osprey. Now, the last time I saw Osprey in a singles match was, I think, about 5 to 6 easily years ago against Ricochet in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I did watch that match of both of them going up against one another. And I know Dave Meltzer gave it a 7 out of 5 stars. I believe that's what he gave it. Because a lot of people were questioning, how could Dave Meltzer give them that type of rating? I believe that was the rating. I can't remember. It was a 7 out of 5 star rating. He said it broke his rating system because it was so damn good. We got a very good match between Dax and Osprey. It wasn't spectacular, but it was good. In the end, Osprey won. I believe he did win. Yeah. Then we got United. Well, this is the thing for me, what I'm watching. Since I don't know United Empire much and Chaos, since I don't watch New Japan's I don't watch Pro Strong, and I don't watch the regular New Japan Pro Wrestling that now has American commentary, because by the time I watch it, it would be just after what comes from, I think New Japan Pro Strong comes on Friday, and the New Japan Pro Wrestling one usually comes on right after Impact Wrestling, which I don't have the time to see it. Literally, I'm doing a review. I'm doing it like I'm doing now. So I don't have the time to watch it. And then if I have the time to watch it on a Friday after I've got to go and do some stuff, or Thursday when I got to go to physical therapy, sometimes also do Wednesdays, I don't have the time. The only time I would have is on a Saturday, and I'm doing stuff there too. And if I'm not trying to do NWA Power and USA, when do I have time to watch it? Who's going to want to watch New Japan Pro Strong or Wrestling, how many days late? Let's say New Japan Pro Wrestling comes on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Nobody's going to want to watch it. So it's like I never have the time to watch. So I don't know who United Empire is. I don't know who Chaos is, even though I have been told one team is against another faction. One faction not. I don't know. So now we're going to have a match between Orange Cassie, who is from Chaos, versus Osprey, who is part of United Empire. I think he's the one who runs it. And he is the current IWGP. No, is he? I know he's holding a title from another promotion. I don't remember which one it is. I think Evolve. Another Evolve, because I know WWE has bought Evolve, but it's another European Evolve, I believe. It's hard to keep up with all these promotions that are international, so I don't know, but he's holding their title. I think he's also holding the U.S. title from New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I'm not sure. But you guys tell me below, do you think which one's going to win? I don't know, because I know Orange. I barely know Osprey. I only seen one match from him, so this is not the second match I see. So I don't know who's going to win. Let's move on. The All-Atlantic qualifying match between Miro and Ethan Page. Now, here's the thing. I know people won't really care that much about Ethan Page because as far as anyone's concerned, he hasn't done much. But for me personally, seeing Ethan Page in this situation with Dan Lambert and working with Scorpio Sky, he is basically floundering. He is a good wrestler that has a good personality, good charisma, good mic skills, and he doesn't have a run on his own. He's working with Dan Lambert, which is getting him over even more than what he is, but then he's not really doing much. Yeah, he had a little bit with Darby Allin, which I will talk about in a moment when it came to Red Dragon, but I really believe he needs more. I really do believe he needs his own run. Either run here, or run NWA, or run back in Impact Wrestling without a Josh Alexander. That's just me. Now, I really didn't want to see either one of them job to each other because I really believe Ethan didn't need the job. I really don't want him to job. But then I know he's going to job because Miro just came back and they're not going to let him job. So he doesn't job. He gets his ass handed to him by Miro. That's it. Done. I was not surprised. I just feel bad for Ethan Page. I really wish he was having something more than what he got. Now, Britt Baker versus Toni Storm. Toni being, I believe, 4th ranked and Britt being 2nd ranked. This is about who is going to be going up against the amazing Thunder Rosa. Here's where it gets interesting. Thunder Rosa comes out to help because Hager and Rebel are messing with Toni. And I gotta say this about Rebel. She's 43 years old. Damn, that woman looks good for her age. She's gorgeous. I would marry her 10 times over if she didn't get bored with me. But essentially speaking, we got Hager taken away by a Thunder Rosa. And in the end, we now see Toni Storm going up against Thunder Rosa because she beat Britt Baker, which is fine. Actuality, Britt is not getting hurt here. She already had such a long run with her damn title, and she now won the Queen of Hearts, basically the Queen of Hearts moniker, the belt, and being known as the first female to go for the Owen Hart's tournament. So she doesn't really need to go up against Thunder Rosa again. It does not hurt her one damn bit to lose against a Toni Storm. The question is, what is she going to do from now on? That's the question. Now, what I said about Darby Allin and Red Dragon. Here's the thing. It would be good to see that they had done a video pack with Darby Allin and maybe showing Sting. Because Darby Allin saying what he does, saying that he sees Sting like a father, like a really close friend. We really need to hear Sting say it. For me personally, I really feel like if Sting's out, why don't they let him do a video pack for Darby Allin saying to Red Dragon, you guys are dead meat. This one right here, this kid, you think he's a nobody? He's not. He is mine. I see me in him. This is my second coming. And this second coming is going to destroy you for what you've done to me. Because he doesn't take me getting hurt lightly. That's what I wanted to see. Now, mind you, seeing Darby Allin speak after that, like he did here, would have been fine. But I really believe Sting needs to say something. Really. I really would like seeing Sting say something. Even though for me personally, I still believe Darby Allin is the second coming of Mick Foley. I'm sorry. I love Sting. I love him. I think he's still valuable. I still think he means something to the wrestling business. But seeing Sting compared to Mick Foley in the style that Darby Allin has, it's more Mick Foley than it is Sting. He's not acting like Sting. Yes, because he got the face paint. Yes, that's like a Sting thing. But he's more Mick Foley. And I wish they would go towards that than they would go to Sting. That's just me. Now, we got the Jericho Appreciation Society coming out. Well, let me crank this back. We got Hangman Page coming out. He wants to go up against Okada, who would have been world champion, but he got his butt kicked. So he's no longer champion, but he still wants to go up against Okada. Then you got not Jericho Appreciation Society, my mistake. That is with Moxley and Tommy, I forgot his name. Tomishi. There you go. But here, because Jay White won the title, and you see Cole come out, he's saying clearly, you don't have the right to go up against Okada. You don't got the right to even try to get the world title. I'm the best person. There ain't nobody better. There ain't nobody anywhere other than me that should be going up against. It is Bullet Club going against the Undisputed Elite. At least until this happens, and then Jay White nails I will say, the Blade Runner is a nice move. It is a good one. And seeing that he did show up there was important. I'm glad it happened. But now we got a big question. Since now you're not going to have him going up against a world champion like Okada, and that Jay White said very clearly to Adam Page, not only Adam Page, but Adam Cole, you ain't both getting it. The question is, who is he going up against? Is it going to be both of them? Or is it going to be someone entirely different that we're not expecting? I don't know who it's going to be. It would be very interesting if it was Cesaro. Tony, I forgot his name, Big Tony, as Sheamus used to call him, Big Tony. I can't remember what name he's using right now. But he would be interesting at Forbidden Door, counting on if AEW hires him or shows him at Forbidden Door. Their pay-per-view along with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know. You guys tell me below. Now, when it came to Moxie going against Tomishi, I'm mispronouncing Tomishi. I'm mispronouncing his name. The ace, the Japanese version of Bret Hart. Now, that was interesting to hear. I've never heard that he was the Japanese version of Bret Hart. I haven't. I had heard maybe once or twice he had been called Ace. For what few times I ever heard about him, I never pronounced his name right. Guys, I can't pronounce names for shit. I am so bad. I'm not stupid, but being dyslexic, I always get the letters mixed up. I may call Mox Ox. But you get my point. Seeing Moxie talk and putting over Tomishi, it was very well done. It was. And right when it's about to talk, you get Chris Jericho coming out saying something about both of them and making all about him beating both these suckers, supposedly. That's what he was thinking. But here's the thing. Tomishi said very clearly, shut your damn mouth. And then once they got beaten down, both of them, and it's supposedly that the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society comes out, and some other guys who are from another faction from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't remember that faction right now. It makes it interesting. There's supposed to be a 10-man tag, supposedly, that's going to cover the guys here and his people. The question is, and this is the problem when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW, since, like, for myself, I don't watch much Japanese wrestling. Like I said earlier, how can I get the time to watch it when New Japan Pro Wrestling, the original one, with American English in it, is coming right after Impact, and then Pro Strong, I believe, comes on a Friday, which is somewhere around the time of Rampage. And if I'm going to try and do I don't know when to watch or how to watch it. Either I'm going to stop watching NWA for New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Strong, or I got to find some way to get it all done within the time possibly when there's going to be pay-per-views. I don't know if I can do that. Either I'm not going to do NWA or I'm going to do New Japan Pro Wrestling, either Strong or the original. Tell me below what you think, because I still want to do NWA. But you guys tell me below. Finally, if I'm forgetting something, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. This is going to go along with my Gump report. I mean, I'm just briefly talking about it. We got the final match, and that is the Bucks versus pretty much Jurassic Express in a ladder match. Now, this is due to the fact of what happened with Jeff Hardy getting arrested and getting his ass in big trouble, having 3 counts. 3 guys. 3. Not just 1 count, but 3 counts when he got caught. There was no way they were going to put it on. They already canceled the match for all 3 of them. So they redid the match. Now it's going to be the Bucks versus the Jurassic Express. Now, I want to make it very clear. This is not about the match quality. Match quality was fine, even though I believe Nick was the one that got his nose busted open. It was obvious. There was no way, particularly what happened at the end with Christian nailing Jungle Boy, that it wasn't going to be the Hardys. I truly believe the Hardys were supposed to win that match. Flat out, Jeff and Matt were supposed to win the match. I truly believe that. There's no way they weren't going to win that. And I think what would have happened before Forbidden Door, they would have had another problem with the Bucks, where then the Bucks, I take that back. If I'm right, in the first count, the Bucks would have been their first challengers, even though they were in a ladder match with them. Or the Bucks were going to win, and then the Hardys would have had a rematch, and then they would have won the titles at Forbidden Door. I know it sounds a little bit convoluted, but that's the way I thought it would be. So when it comes down to it, I truly believe that I really believe the Hardys were supposed to win this. And then the Bucks would have been their first challengers at Forbidden Door. That's what I truly believe. It could have been the opposite, but I believe that. So the Bucks won. And then Christian basically nails Jungle Boy. Long overdue. Plans change. And long overdue change for Christian. Christian has been held off for quite a while for Jungle Boy. Maybe I think they held off this long due to the fact that I think Christian wanted to work more with Jungle Boy to get him more comfortable with talking, because as many people said, Jungle Boy was scared to talk and do promos and do mic work. And like I've been telling people for years, it doesn't make a difference if you're one of the best wrestlers there is. Sooner or later, you must talk to show your personality in some form or fashion. You cannot be without talking your entire career. It doesn't work. Even Bob Backlund, the guy that I remember distinctly being the first person I ever saw in wrestling as a little kid, not Bruno Sammartino, not Hulk Hogan, not superstar Billy Graham, not Pat Patterson. It was the person I remember is Bob Backlund. So he couldn't talk for shit. But Vince knew how to book him properly and made sure whenever he talked, it was brief and insightful and impactful. Hopefully Christian taught that to Jungle Boy. So maybe that might have been the reason why it was this long before it finally happened and they pulled the trigger. Admittedly, I think it's a little too long. A little too late for Christian. Yeah, they can probably salvage this. But honestly, it should have happened, 5-6 months ago? No, 4 months ago. I think 4 months would have been the best time for him to really turn, because they were teasing it more than a few times about 4 months ago. But this is what we got for this show. Change of plans. I think that's the best title for this. And I hope you enjoy this Zane's View, please. Well, not Zane's View. This Dynamite Delight review. Please give me a comment below. I am now going to be filming my Gump report. That's why there are no images in here. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.